Hello everyone. TechGoodReads give you good thing to read, to listen. In today's program, I will introduce AWS VPC. First, we need to understand what is VPC. VPC stands for Virtual Private Cloud. It's a logical concept and is make the different users can access different resources in the network. VPCs deploy into one AWS region and can host resources from several availability zones. Note, there's a limit. For each region, each account, maximum of the VPC is 5. To understand how VPC works, we need to understand the IP address and also CIDR. For the IPv4, each address used 32 digits to represent, and we make it 8 digits into one number and use 4 number to represent it. We can see as the right side picture, there's such an IP address, how it's mapping to the digit into the number. For such an IP address, it's not very flexible. When we use it on the network, some network have less hosts, some subnetwork has more hosts. How to make it flexible? In the VPC, we use CIDR. It's a kind of IP range. It's defined using the classless inter-domain routing notation. This CIDR, we can see the right side picture is the first green part is the network ID, and the rest is the host ID. For the network ID in this example, we use 24 digits to represent. So we can use /24 to represent this network ID. This is called CIDR. So VPC CIDR block size is between 16 and 28. For each subnet, 5 IPs are reserved. Like 0 is used for the network, 1 is used for the VPC router, 2 used for the DNS, 3 is reserved, 255 is used for the network broadcast. So if you need to calculate how many hosts can put into one subnet, you need to deduct 5. Route table. When we want to direct traffic in the VPC resources from one subnet into another subnet, we need to use route table to set it. We can see an example at the right side of the picture. There's a different route table for different subnets and also for the VPCs. For each VPC, it has a default route table, but as a best practice, we suggest you set such a route table for each subnet. We have a VPC, but we don't use it as a whole. We also need some logical segregation of this whole network. This is the subnet. We split one VPC into subnets. Usually, we can define it as the public subnets and the private subnets. For the public subnets, it uses the Internet gateway to receive traffic from the Internet. For the private subnets, it uses NAT gateways to access Internet or other AWS resources. Do you see the difference? From the internet, it can only access the resources in the public subnets, but it cannot access the private subnets. For the best practice, you always suggest to allocate more IPs for private subnets. For each network or resources, we use the elastic network interface to bind it. ENI is a virtual network interface that can be moved inside the availability zone. In next slides, I will introduce the security group. Security group controls such a ENI. Security group is used to control the resources if it allows access from the network traffic or not. For each security group, the default rule is allow all outbound traffic, but deny all inbound traffic. Usually, when you start a new resource, you need to set this security group to make it accessible from the other resources. Security is very important for the VPC. In the VPC, we use 3 methods to control such a security. One is root table. The second one is network ACL. Sometimes they call it a NACL. And the third one is security group. At the right side of the picture, we can see where they are for these security places. For the network ACL, it's the same concept of the previous physical network, using the ACL to control the access. But for the AWS VPC, usually we only suggest to use root table and the security group. That's already enough. NACL is only used for the backward compatibility. You may ask, it's so difficult to compose all the resources to the network. Don't worry about it. For the Amazon, it's provide a quick start. It uses the CloudFormation to create resources for you. You can use this link and use that quick start to create such a VPC in 2 to 4 availability zones. This is very helpful. That's all for today's contents. Thank you for listening. Bye.